In this video, we're going from the base install of Windows into minor configurations and completing all the Windows updates. Then we can move on to the next phase. In the last video, there was a little note on the screen that said in some situations you have to unplug the network cable, or Windows will just blow right past some of that stuff and make you log in with your Microsoft account. If you've disconnected it and you haven't plugged it back in at some point up to now, go ahead and plug it back in. When you actually have internet, more than likely you're going to have a prompt on the screen similar to what I have here. Basically, it says, do you want to allow your PC to be discovered by other PCs and devices on this network? For the vast majority of people, the answer to this is no. If you don't know what this means or what this is about, the answer is probably no. If you know what this is, you're going to know whether or not you're doing it. If you don't know what it is, it means you probably have never used it. So we're going to select no. Start a Windows update. I don't search for it. I just type update. Choose the quickest way of finding it. And there it is, second from the top, check for updates. Now, in some situations, you're going to have to make sure date and time are correct. If it's a brand new motherboard, your date and time might be off, and Windows Update may very well fail for you. If you look down here, and you don't see the correct date and time, like that says 7:20 p.m., it's well after 10. Well, it's 10:20 p.m. So that's probably not going to be an effect. Get that straightened out real quick. Adjust date and time. That get itself up there. And usually all you're going to have to do to correct this is change your time zone. I'm a -5, so -5 Eastern. There we go. Then we can tell it to go ahead and sync. And you look right here, it says time servers time.nist.gov, which we set at the end of the last video. If you got Cumulative update, you see down here is also a preview. Stay away from the previews. People's computers get messed up, data gets lost. Just stay away from any of that. Anyway, that update installed. It didn't install, it downloaded during the hours it took me to process the other video and some other stuff that I needed to get done. So that's why we didn't have to wait for a download at that moment. Well, usually a rule of thumb is run Windows updates 2 or 3 times back to back once you fresh install on a computer. And it says check, it says you're up to date. It was interesting, we just did a cumulative update, so it should be up to date. But I happen to know we're not. Also, when we first came back in and we had the area to the right, wanting to know if you want your computer discoverable on the network. Just keep in mind that Microsoft Windows downloaded its entire update before you told what kind of network you were on. So a lot of people, they'll tell you to go in and start adjusting and tinkering things with Windows and start trying to lay down a hammer or whatever and trying to get control it. And 3 decades of experience has taught me one thing. If you want Windows to run and not want it to crash and be hanky, you leave it alone as much as you possibly can. Well, it looks like we're up to date. We'll take that with a grain of salt. Let's start getting rid of stuff. It's interesting how they put these on here. Office is not on your computer. A stub to install it is there, and basically it's associated with you going and buying it, and there again, connecting an account. If you can get away with not using Microsoft Office, use Libre or something else, I would recommend it, but right now we're going to uninstall that stub. It'll disappear in a minute. Not doing Spotify. Nothing else. I'm going to unpin it so I don't have to look at it. Definitely not doing news. It's not going to let me uninstall the Microsoft Store, but it will let me do that. I can unpin it. Microsoft Edge, we're going to unpin that. It's up to you. Cortana. Let's see, what else is more? Pin to start app settings. Let's go into app settings for Cortana. Cortana, I should say. Turn off the microphone for Cortana. Turn off background apps for Cortana. Well, let's go down our little list. Feedback Hub. Uninstall. 3D viewer. If you don't have special glasses, special monitor, that's not going to do you any good. So uninstall. Get Help. That's what the internet's for. Let's see what else we have. Solitaire, Your Call, Microsoft Store, can't do anything. Mixed Reality Portal, uninstall. These aren't necessarily things that are tracking you, some of this stuff, but some of it. Now here's one, OneDrive, uninstall. Oh, okay, so there. Now with all things privacy, you have to make decisions. You have to decide things. Maps, that's what the internet's for, don't need it. App settings, locations off, contacts off. Yeah, that's what we are talking about earlier. It's not just your information you're protecting, it's other people's. Background off. Terminate whatever's going on with it. OneNote, your choice. Anything you put into a Microsoft application is probably being read by computers, AIs, or people. That's based on Microsoft's own statements. People, you can do what you want to with it. I won't use it. I'm not putting anybody's contact or other information in it. Yeah, it's nice. It'd be really nice to be able to use all these features. It really would. But when they're just using you to mine other people's information, because that's what that is. So Skype is one of those things. I hate it. Problem is a lot of people use it, and it's on a lot of people's computers. So if you needed to contact somebody, the easiest way to do it is just Skype. You don't have to walk somebody to install software or anything else. You just say, go in your start menu and you click on that blue S, See, voice recorder, Xbox. Nope, uninstall. Whether it's tracking me or not, it's not the point. Not using it. Actually, it surprised me that didn't leave. Pictures off, videos off, background apps. I just like random stuff has got access to your pictures and stuff. Your phone. So why? Don't need it. Oh, weather. A lot of us like to see weather. This is for Washington, D.C. So the lazy way of doing it is say just detect my location. Well, the problem is we turned all that off already. So all you gotta do is put your zip code or your city in here, or any city. I kind of like Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. Let's see if I can spell it right this time. There it is. Yep, I spelled it wrong again. And then we have weather, it's 38 there. And so what I usually do is I resize it to wide, and I slip it up here. As far as the Windows Mail, the Microsoft Mail, or whatever it's called, it's in here. Wouldn't use it. Can't trust it. Microsoft's already said that they're watching your key presses and et cetera, et cetera. I don't want to give them another way that they're going to be looking at. Maybe in the next video we'll look at software alternatives like LibreOffice and some other ones, maybe GIMP, Darktable. Different open source, they're free. You can download them. Works on multiple operating systems. And so if you get used to it in one and if you decided to go to another operating system, You can take your knowledge with you. You're not starting over. So that's it for this video. Be looking for the web browser videos. They're all going to be short, probably 8 minutes max. I don't want them to be much longer than that. We're going to look at each one of the web browser settings, and we're going to find out if they're actually protecting your privacy. Until next time.